It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Siren Craft Brew, and this is a can of their Smart Casual Juicy IPA. It's in a 440 milliliter can. It's 6% ABV, and it's looking rather luminous, isn't it? I think the guys at Siren were like, right, okay, we need to make a beer for ASDA. And, you know, like those, you see some people with them really bright coloured orange trainers, and they're like, hey, look at me, look at me. This is almost the beer equivalent of that. It's on the shelf, it's in ASDA, it's bright, it's colourful, it's doing, look at me, with my bright orange trainers. And it's quite amusing, actually. It's kind of made me giggle a little bit because, well, it just has. It was £3 a can, and it was brewed in Finchampstead in Berkshire. Okay, so without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Little bit of smoke on the can opening. I've not had a Siren Craft Brew beer in a while. The first time I ever had a Siren Craft Brew beer, I was in London. I went to a pub and we were on a rooftop bar in the sun, and I was handed a glass of Soundwave IPA when the brewery was young and fresh and probably a little bit more keen than they are now. My apologies. But my point to all of this is that that glass of Soundwave, when the brewery was young and fresh and keen, was one of the best IPAs I'd ever had in a moment. In a moment. You can imagine, London, rooftop terrace pub. I couldn't tell you where it was. No idea. I couldn't tell you where it was now. I just ended up there, up on the roof, sun blazing, lovely cold glass of IPA, and it was just tasting terrific. It was one of those moments in life you go, right, if I could just pause all of this right now and just go stop and just take this moment, you know. Them fantastic moments where you go, oh, life's perfect. Rooftop, sun's out, fantastic beer. What more do I want? What more could I possibly want from life? But we're not here to talk about rooftops and Siren's Soundwave IPA. Do they even still make it? I don't even know. I don't even know if they still make Soundwave. One finger Whitehead, good carbonation, nice tight small bubbles as I rock the beer back and forth, chasing the head of the glass. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, a little kind of like blueberry bubble gum going on. I would say hop concentrates, hop oils maybe. What I find slightly frustrating about these IPAs in the supermarket is if you went to Morrison's, if you went to Tesco, if you went to ASDA or Sainsbury's and you picked up an IPA in a can for £3 or £3.50, then they generally all smell and taste the same. I wondered if they like all grouped together and gone, you know, let's all just put out different coloured cans and, you know, ASDA or orange, multicoloured orange flavoured cans, and let's just all produce something very similar. And I'm not saying they're winging it. I'm just saying the aroma is lazy. It's a lazy IPA. It's a very generic supermarket kind of style IPA that it's all getting a bit tedious now. It's all getting a bit boring. It's all smelling the same. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, it's just a bit like, I think that's why I'm drinking so much lager. I've just thoroughly enjoyed a bottle of Stara Pram unfiltered, and it was like more or less £1 cheaper, and you got a 500ml bottle, more or less £1 cheaper, and it's a far superior beer. Okay, if you're an IPA lover, if you're kind of like still on this like craft beer bandwagon, if you like the banging the drum for craft beer, I get it, I understand it. I was banging the drum myself for years. I banged the drum really hard for years and years and years until Brewdog became a bit lame, and then lots of different supermarket. I was thinking, yay, supermarket craft beer. This is going to be great. Craft beer is finally going to hit the masses. And what did they do? They just like made the IPAs just really boring. They made them like, you know, when you just like take a deep breath and then you have a blow, do you know when that explains everything? Have a taste of the beer and you go, why did I like bang that craft beer drum for all of the years that I did, in the hope that people would drink really good beer? When all that's really happened is these breweries have extended, they've become great big breweries in their own rights, and they're just producing half-hearted examples of hop-oiled IPAs that nobody really gives a damn about. And that's where I am with it all. That's where I am. I mean, this is a far cry. This is a million miles from the Siren Soundwave IPA I had on that London rooftop pub. If I was stood up on the London rooftop pub with this smack casual IPA, then I'd probably be screaming to get off the roof. When a beer is brewed to this kind of boring, half-hearted standard, then I'm going to buy a bottle of Stara Pram unfiltered. I'm going to buy some really well brewed Czech beer or some really well brewed Belgian beer. I'm not putting up with it. I'm simply not playing your game. I am not playing your game, Siren. So many of these beers just taste the same. So I haven't even got to the flavour yet. It's just like hop, oil, slight bitterness. Just boring. A little bit astringent. Just boring. A little bit of pineapple, dare I say tin pineapple. Just like, nah, it's not for me. It's a shame, isn't it? A juicy IPA. the biggest problem I have now is that I can't see much of a future. I can't see much of a future in me reviewing supermarket canned craft beer. I just, it's not sustainable. And I don't think for the breweries it'll be sustainable either. I think people will work it out. People will work it out for themselves. They'll go £3 for that, £2.20 for a Star of Prime unfiltered. Yeah, more beer in the bottle. I'll buy a Star of Prime unfiltered, thank you very much. It's poor. I'd love to swear. I'd like to say the P word in front of the poor. I'd like to say it's poor. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.